You got
You'll
camera?
excuse me for a minute. I have a teenage daughter at home, and if I don't come home with a picture, she is not going to let me in the house tonight. So, girls, look pretty. Well, I better do it this way to get you all in. There we are.
Right up front.
The Supremes, no less, and all the teenagers across the country who have bought their records and who have listened to them on radio stations and have watched them on television shows, they're going to get the biggest kick in the world of meeting them in person today. Thank you, girls, for coming up this
It's
hot
our
day.
pleasure. Yes, it is.
Was it rough getting up this morning?
Yes, I got it at 12 o'clock.
There's a man. Now, I tell you,
Thank you very much.
all the courtesies of the Four Seasons Motor Hotel extended to our guests every day at noon here. Opening last night at O'Keefe Center were the Supremes, Red Buttons, and little Stevie Wonder, and a group called the Wellingtons in a concert that just simply packed the place, and they're here all week in Toronto. And I'd like to have the opinion of you girls of that opening last night. Were you impressed by the number of people and the response?
I was very impressed, and I was thrilled at the standing ovation that we got at the end of the show, because all during our performance I was very nervous. And
You know, I
haven't
never
been.
saw that before, a standing ovation for these girls.
I was
Did you notice that?
Tremendous. Very, very nice.
Now, just to show you that I'm up on teenage affairs, and don't you look at me and this gray hair and think that it is something that just came recently. Florence Ballard,
Right.
Mary Wilson,
Right.
Diana Ross.
Right.
See, he's
There.
up on it.
Yeah. Well, I took some instruction before I left home if you really want to know the truth about this whole thing. Girls, you're all from Detroit,
Yes, we are.
Yes.
and how long has the career been so far?
It's been 8 years. February was 8 years. It's going on 9.
It doesn't seem that long. It seems like it was maybe 2 or 3 years.
Well, it does, but we were here in Toronto about 5 years ago. And when I came back this time, I was very, very thrilled at the way things have changed, and the city looked like it has become a big, beautiful place. The city hall was gorgeous. Everything's very
You
nice.
mean you had not made your first hit records at the time you came here?
No,
before?
when we came here, we were just doing record hops.
Florence, you're so far away. Come in a little bit closer here.
Well,
Did you girls all know each other when you were in school? Is this how you got together?
Mary and I went to the same elementary school, and Diane and Mary went to the same church. Well, we all lived in the same neighborhood, which were the Brewster Projects.
Would you say that singing in church influenced your style a little? Would you call this a kind of a spiritual type of sound that you have?
Maybe just slightly.
Just slightly, because
I'd say it has maybe something on our background, but not for the actual sound that we have.
Where would you say the sound comes from then? You must reach
Well-
for it somewhere.
Well, I think we have writers, and the writers write the basic sound, and all we do is sing them, and then it might come from, say, our equipment that we have at Motown. It's supposed to be the best in the country, and I guarantee you it is.
Incidentally, yes, we must discuss this. This is the Motown sound. In fact, so much so that they even have a record company called the Motown Record Company. I believe this whole record company almost exists because of you. Is this true? Am I being too expansive?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Right, we have so many artists from Motown. Little Stevie Wonder is from Motown, and his sound is considered the Motown sound as well. We are considered the top group at Motown right now, and we're kind of carrying things for the company, or we're promoting the company because we have a lot of great talent within our company there.
Of course, the hit records you girls suddenly came along with is what really made the record company.
Yeah,
No
well, we
question.
made it known a little more. Usually
Want to take a
it's
shot?
known within the record business, the R&B business, but now it's getting a little widespread, I think.
You notice Diane has an overweight problem.
Just a little.
How much do you weigh?
103 pounds.
Isn't that a lot? That's more than I thought. You know,
I used to weigh a little more. I was weighing 115, but since we've been working so constantly, and I use up a lot of nervous energy because I'm quite excited the way things are.
Florence, is that why she's thinner than you? She works harder? Is that the
I
way?
think I eat more than she
Is
eats.
that And Mary, what's your excuse?
Well, I eat just enough, I'll say.
I want to talk about the sound again. I want to still go back to this because you are unique among trios. In fact, when I heard you sing three-part harmony last night, I was amazed. You know, it just didn't sound like you three girls just to sing ordinary three-part harmony, as other trios in the past have done. But when I hear your records, I keep hearing two things going on at once.
Yes, that's right.
You two are singing one
Right.
counterpoint, so-called,
That's what it is.
and you're singing a lead counterpoint.
Well, you see, since we've been singing, we have always sung harmony. Now, in the rock and roll or the pop rock and roll field, unison notes are the thing to do, and the lead. And this is very popular, and so this is what we do. However, on stage, we have enough time to do a lot of different things. So we do the unison, and then the harmony, and then the lead, like that. And it's spread out, you know.
When you started, did someone suggest that you sing this way, or was this the idea of you three girls yourselves?
The first songs we sang together was like Moonlight in Vermont and Canadian Sunset. We just wanted to do harmony things where the three voices blend. But as we began to release records, we separated ourselves into a lead and background singers, because in the rhythm and blues field, in rock and roll, this is the way it is now, with the lead voice and the back harmony notes, or either the back unison notes. But actually, now we're trying to do a variety of things. We'll sing one straight song straight through, like Queen of the House, where all of us are singing the same melody note, you know. And it's,
By the way, you got the lyrics all set for the night?
yes.
You poor thing, I felt so sorry for you last night, because I knew you were worried because you'd forgotten a line or two.
Well, it's something, I heard this being discussed on the Johnny Carson show one night. It's funny, the more you concentrate on what you're doing, the more you're likely to forget something. And actually last night, up until I got to Queen of the House, I was very nervous, and then I told myself, well, relax and just sing a song. But when I got to that, then I said, gee, well, where do I go from here? You know, so I sort of like had a mental block, you know, for a minute, but that didn't stop them. They kept going, and finally I, you know, got things together. But actually, the audience didn't even know. We've got compliments in the newspapers this morning on the song Queen of the House for the relaxed feeling it gave the audience and the funny kibitzing around we did about it, you know. So don't tell anybody.
No, I was
they
only
didn't
kidding.
know.
I'm sorry, I didn't really mean to bring it up. I meant it more as a compliment, because your recovery was charming. I mean, the whole thing ingratiated you to the house, and they loved you all the more for it. So don't ever worry about a mistake.
Yeah.
The secret is to recover well, and when you can do that, everyone forgives everything. I think it's an incredible career. Would you three girls care to estimate what the capital investment is in your particular act today? I want to draw some contrast in a moment, but I'd like to hear. Have you any idea? Anything at all? I have heard it's millions of dollars. I really have heard this.
Wow, I'm glad you heard that.
Yeah, how are you splitting it?
Oh, 3 ways. No, 4.
Well, actually, our money that come in, so much is used for expenses. Your expenses are hotels and what have you, and you have to pay all of these yourselves. But actually, we haven't worried about the money too much, because the prestige is so great and the feeling that you get. You know, that's just like a person working at a high-time club or something. They don't worry about the money. They just want to be there, you know, in with what's happening.
Do you get an allowance every week?
Yes, we get an allowance.
How much did you get? Come on,
We got
tell me.
$100 a week.
You get
Although it was cut down to $50. Excuse me, correction.
It was cut down to $50 a week?
Our manager cut it down.
Is that awful?
Well, actually,
Florence, that's hardly enough to feed you, is it, Florence?
That's right.
well,
I'll be losing weight soon.
we charge in the hotel. We usually charge, you know, our food. We sign our check, so it goes right onto the hotel bill. But for our personal things, we get $100 a week. He hasn't cut it down yet, but he said, well, you girls are spending too much money, you know.
Who chooses the clothes?
We kind of agree among the three of us, yes.
What would you value your wardrobe?
Oh, right now it's going up. The things we are getting are more expensive.
Because we have to buy uniforms all the time, you know, continually. In fact, we might buy something here in Canada if we see something.
The last gown that we wore last night on the show, the one that we've gotten quite a few compliments on, because it's really a great gown. It cost us like $7.50 per gown. But
Well, that's not $7.50.
No.
It's an expensive business.
Yes,
You have no
it is.
idea. You keep hearing
Well,
of the great...
things like gowns you can deduct though, I'm sorry.
Right.
You can deduct those,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Oh, well,
yes.
that's
They're
something.
part of your working equipment, so we say.
How does this success affect all you girls? How do you take it? Is it an unreal world in which you live?
No, I think it's very real. In fact, it has made us see just how life can be and how much you can gain by working for what you want and by giving up certain things that, you know, you couldn't, that most teenagers wouldn't like
What
to
have
give
you
up.
given up? All three of you, and you can answer this too, Florence. What have you given up
Dates.
that you regret? Dates?
A lot of
I
free
haven't given up
time.
anything that I really regret.
Isn't this kind of thing kind of a drag for you? I mean, personal appearances to do interviews and radio things and television interviews. I would think this would infringe on your spare time.
It all helps to make your career that much more important.
It's part.
Actually, if you weren't doing this, you would probably be working some other job or going to school or being a housewife.
I suppose it's true. Aside from performing at night, this is part of your work day. You're
Right,
included
it's part
in
of,
that.
it's
That's
part
true.
of the work.
Right. And it all goes to help a better career.
It all goes to help the cause. Definitely. We've got to go because our time has gone so short, but I would like to thank Diana, Mary,
you.
and Florence, the Supremes. And indeed, that word is descriptive. They are, I think, supreme in the record field today, and I do thank them for coming and visiting us today on our Coast to Coast show. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.